So there are three reasons why most seven-figure business owners are stuck and they don't feel like they're moving forwards financially. And what this comes down to is that learning how to make money is the first fundamental skill, but then learning how to keep it and make it work for you is the second fundamental skill that most business owners just ultimately never learn. So what this comes down to, guys, is there's really three core considerations that go into actually getting ahead, getting a handle on your finances. First one is being able to understand how do you drive and scale your profits in your business. Because what I ultimately see for so many business owners is they're growing and scaling their business, they're growing and scaling their top line revenue. So they're getting more leads, they're getting more clients, they're building bigger teams, they're getting more cars on the road. And these are vanity metrics, right? Ultimately, this is great for you to brag at the pub and for you to say that you've got a 7 or 8 figure business. But if your bank account's balance isn't actually growing after you've paid all of your tax bills, then it's a sign that there is something fundamentally wrong with your financial model. So the most sophisticated business owners understand how to grow and scale their profits. And what they look at is they look at what is their revenue growth compared to their cost of sales growth or their gross profit growth. So in other words, as they grow their top line revenue, after their cost to serve, so their materials and their subcontractors, is their gross profit growing at the same rate as their top line revenue? Next thing they look at is they look at their top line revenue growth to their operating expenses growth. Because for many businesses, particularly as they grow and scale beyond 7 figures, they end up overshooting their expenses far beyond their revenue growth. And what does that mean? Bigger business, less margin. And the third thing is that they actually understand their balance sheet. They've taken the time to see how money flows through their profit and loss, so into top line revenue, into gross profit, into operating profit, and then from operating profit into the balance sheet of their cash account, into their accounts receivable, their accounts payable, and any of their other current assets and current liabilities. And ultimately, through understanding this, they can then work out their true cash flow. And this might sound like a different language, but this is the equivalent of going and trying to learn German and then beating yourself up because you don't understand how to speak it fluently in the first lesson. And as a 7-figure business owner, it's time for you to actually start learning the language of money, learning the language of profit and cash flow, and learning the language of wealth.